Hello and welcome to another round of piano lessons here on Musicians Edition. My name is Evan, and in this video we are going to go into some compound time signatures. We're going to go into 3/8 and 6/8. And compound time signatures, breaking away from the normal 3/4 and 4/4. Other examples include 9/8 and 12/8. Those ones are a bit less common, so I'll go over those in a future video. So in this one, we're going to focus on 3/8 and 6/8. So for these, that means there's a 3 on the top, there's an 8 on the bottom, or a 6 on top and an 8 on the bottom when you're reading those time signatures at the beginning of your pieces. You will see these in some songs that you come across, so it's always good to know how to play different time signatures, so when you do find a piece you want to play, you see it's in an unfamiliar time signature, not the typical 3/4 or 4/4, you still want to be able to power through it without having to practice these time signatures separately. So getting a good understanding of these different time signatures is a great place to start and practice with so you can conquer any piece that you come across. So having that 3 on the top, that means we're going to have 3 beats within each bar or measure. And what that 8 on the bottom means is that the 8th note is going to make up 1 beat. As opposed to 3/4 or 4/4, it's not the quarter note anymore that's going to fill up that measure with 4 beats. It's going to be the 8th note that counts as 1 beat. And if we're in 3/8, we just need 3 of them to fill out our measure. So some similarities to 3/4 because you do have the same top number. You're going to be counting in 3s, but what makes up those 3s is 8th notes. So that quarter note now takes up 2 beats, 8th note is 1 beat, 16th note would be half a beat. So everything's just kind of shifted down with that 8th note being the 1 beat. And when we go on to 6/8, 6/8, the only difference is just that top number. Instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like you would in 3/8, those groups of 3, we're going to be counting in groups of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you could look at both of these as technically groups of 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The biggest difference is just where the emphasis of that strong beat is going to be. And that's typically going to be on the first beat of each measure. So in 3/8, you have strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak. But in 6/8, it's going to be more strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak, strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak. So not such that strong emphasis on the 4, it's more of a medium emphasis. Just like in 4/4, that's something we see in there where it's typically strong, weak, medium, weak, repeated. Now this 6/8 has an extra weak in between there, strong, weak, weak, medium, weak, weak. All right, hope that's not too much for now. We'll make sure you guys got the counting of this down first. We'll look at some exercises. We'll break down the note values for sure. And then we'll go into one quick song at the end so you can see how this would apply in a song. Let's head over to the piano and get it going. All right, let's do this. So we're going to start with 3/8 first. So here's our picture that we're going to use for 3/8. So in 3/8, we talked about that 8th note being that 1 beat. You can see the rest next to it as well too. That's that 8th rest. Those are going to count for 1 of our 3 beats in each measure. And we have 16th note below it. That's going to be half of a beat. So that's going to be the one with those 2 tails on top of it. And then we have 16th rest as well there too. So we have quarter note above that. That's going to count for 2 beats, 2 of our 3 beats. And we can only fit 1 note above that, and that's going to be a dotted quarter note. I'd covered dotted notes in a previous video. If you're unfamiliar with those, it multiplies a note's value by 1.5. So in the case of 2 beats, 2 times 1.5 equals 3. So that's what that dotted quarter note equals. So there's no room for a half note. There's no room for a whole note because we can only fill up these 3 beats. And what gets us that 3 beats to cover an entire measure is a dotted quarter note. Or the dotted quarter rest, you can see next to it as well too. That accounts for 3 beats. Working our way down again, quarter note, 2 beats, quarter rest, 8th note, 8th rest, 1 beat, 16th note, 16th rest, half of a beat. So let's look at a practice exercise here. So this is written in 3/8. You can see our time signature there. We have the 3 on top, 8 on the bottom. Same thing we've been talking about here. So we are starting it off with 3/8 notes, and you can see the numbers are right below each of these to help us count along. So we have 3/8 notes. Let's start it off very simple. We're just going to be playing 1, 2, 3. That's it. And what can help you at home if you are struggling with any of these is you can have a metronome playing along with you while you practice these. In this video, I'm just going to count it out as we play here. These first 4 measures are really simple. All we're playing is 1, 2, 3. Next one, you see that dotted quarter note. So that's going to count for 1, 2, 3, pressing and holding that whole time. Third one, 1, 2, 3, 3/8 notes. Fourth one, we have dotted quarter note again. 1, 2, 3. So these first 4 measures are very, very easy. Let's go ahead and play these out. You can play any note you want. We're only worrying about the rhythm. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Simple as can be so far. Next up, let's finish off this line. It's going to get a little bit trickier, but nothing too crazy yet. We see a quarter note. Quarter note counts for 2 of our 3 beats, followed by an 8th note just disconnected, so it looks a little bit different from those ones that were connected, but just a quarter note followed by an 8th. So quarter takes the first 2, 8th takes the third. 1, 2, 3. Next one's the same. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to finish off this line with 3/8 notes. 1, 2, 3 again. So let's just play these last 3 back to back, and then we'll combine this whole line. So starting with that first quarter followed by 8th note, I'm going to count us down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's that. Let's do this whole top line together. I'll go nice and slow. I'll count us down with a 3 count here. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's that. We're going to look at one more line to practice with. That's going to be a little bit harder. Okay, one more in 3/8 here. This is going to start off with another dotted quarter note. We've already practiced that. We've already practiced what's in the second and third as well too. A quarter note followed by an 8th. That fourth one, 3/8, we've already practiced that. Those should be a piece of cake. A little bit different for these last few, just reversing the order of the quarter and 8th. So shouldn't be too hard there. 8th followed by a quarter. Again, 8th followed by a quarter. Second to last one, we've got finally a rest to come across. 8th note, 8th rest, 8th note. Another way to take up those 3 beats. Very similar to quarter note followed by 8th note. Only difference is we're going to make sure we lift up on the 2 instead of holding it down. And we finish on the last one with 8th note followed by a quarter rest. That's going to take up those last 2 beats. So I'll play this whole line together since we've already gotten some practice with it. I'll go slow the first time, then a little bit quicker after that. Counting down with a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. All right, let's see if we can go through this a little bit quicker. Just this second line here. I'll count us down again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. That is 3/8. We will have one song at the end that's also going to be played in 3/8. Before we go into that, let's jump into 6/8. Same thing, we'll talk about values. We'll do an exercise just like this. Okay, 6/8, let's look at our chart of our note values, and let's see how it changes. So the values are the same, but just because we have a 6 count we're fitting into our measures, we can fit some higher notes in this. So we have, starting from the bottom, we have that half of a beat being the 16th note or 16th rest. 1 beat, 8th note or 8th rest. 2 beats, quarter note, quarter rest. 3 beats, quarter dotted note, and dotted quarter rest. That's all the same as 3/8. But now because we can count up to 6 beats, we have more room. We can throw in a dotted half note to take up a 6 beats of that full measure. And it would be the same with a dotted half rest as well too, would make it so we count up to 6 of not playing at all for an entire measure. What's not included on here though is a regular half note, which we could have included in this too. And can you take a guess at how much that would be? So we're gonna double the value of the quarter note to get a half note for this, and so that would be 4 beats. So we could have that played as well too. In these practice exercises, we're not gonna have that. We're just gonna have the notes you do see here, which again, to take up that full measure, dotted half note, to take up half of that measure, which is 3 beats, dotted quarter note takes 2, 8th note takes 1, 16th note, that's gonna take half of a beat. So same kind of practice exercises we're gonna look at here now in 6/8, let's go. All right, so here's the picture of what we're gonna play. So starting off, we're just gonna be playing 8th notes to get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, easy as that. Dotted quarter notes, each of them taking 3 beats. So we can play these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After that, we have 8th notes followed by a dotted quarter note. Pretty easy, we're just combining what we played here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip around the order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one, a bit trickier, some different kinds of notes. Quarter note takes 2 beats. 8th note takes 1 beat. Dotted quarter note takes those last 3 beats. Let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's play it all together. So I will count us down with a 6 count this time to lead us into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. So, second line. Let's make it just a little bit harder so we can practice here. First one, we're seeing that first dotted half note that's going to take up the full 6 beats. So, very simple there. Just count to 6 while we hold. After that, it's going to get a little bit harder, mixing in some different notes, just alternating the order of quarter and 8th notes. Some dotted quarter notes coming in as well too. We can do this. So that second one, you can see it's just quarter taking 2, 8th taking 1, quarter taking 2, 8th taking 1. Reverse that order. 8th, quarter, 8th, quarter. When after that, we got that dotted quarter note, 8th, dotted quarter note, 3/8, finish it off with quarter, 8th, dotted quarter. I think we can do this. I'm going to count it down from the beginning. Let's play this whole line nice and slow, then we'll come back and do it a little bit faster. So, first one, we're just going to hold the 6, then we'll play it around with these different combinations of quarters and 8ths. I'll count us down with the 6 count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Let's do this second line just a little bit quicker, and then we'll go on to our song at the end. So counting down from 6, a little bit quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. You're pros at 3/8 and 6/8. Let's go ahead and we're going to look at a song to see if we can play that out. All right, before we play, what we're going to do is just practice counting all this out. So what I have here is just some parts of Fur Elise. So Fur Elise by Beethoven. If you don't know the name of it, you'll know it once you hear it. So this follows a pretty similar rhythm throughout the entire song. It's a good example of a song that's going to be in 3/8. You can see our time signature right there at the beginning. We have a lot of 16th notes, as you can see. We have some 8th notes. Down here, we're going to have a dotted 8th note as well, too. And that's pretty much what's used throughout the song. There's a couple quarter notes, but really not much else. So with all these 16ths, it's going to sound pretty fast-paced. So let's go ahead and just count this out. We have a lead-in measure here. It's not taking a full 3 count for this one. It's just leading us into the first measure that will take that full 3 count. So this one, I'm just going to start it off on a 3 because this one just takes 1 beat total. And since this has a lot of 16ths, I'm going to write these pluses for ands. So 3 and. I'm going to count a lot in 1 and 2 and 3 and, because that's what I do when we have these 16th notes when we're in 3/8. Similar to how if we were in 3/4 and we had a lot of 8th notes, I'd be counting that as 1 and 2 and 3 and. Now we have that 8 on the bottom, 8th note taking up 1 beat, so it's the 16th notes that we can count in those ands. So the first full measure, simple really, 1 and 2 and 3 and. The only part that's kind of tricky is just knowing where to fit these rests in because it's not going to be as easy to differentiate here. So this next one, we have an 8th note. That's going to take up an entire beat, so I'm not going to write an and there. This rest here, we have the 2 tails, so it's a 16th rest. That's going to rest right on the 2 beat. And then we come in and play on the and, that 2 and. And then we have 3 and. And so this one after follows the same exact thing. You can see it's just 8th note, 16th rest, 16th note, 3 of them right in a row. So that's all that is right there. And we just have 1 8th note there just so I can have it rest on a decent ending for that melody. And the majority of this song follows this same kind of a pattern where it's either just playing all 16th notes right in a row here or playing 1 note at the beginning of the measure, you rest, and then you have 3 notes going in afterwards. If you know the song, you kind of know that that's pretty much how it goes throughout here. I included just one small clip here. I wanted us to just practice counting and playing as well too to hear how it would be a little bit different. And the only difference here is dotted 8th note with no rest versus regular 8th note with a 16th rest. So just to see the difference in how that would be counted out, a dotted 8th note is going to take up 1 and 2. So it's 1.5 beats because the regular 8th note was just the 1. And so now we're adding the first part of the 2 there. And then we finish off with and, 3, and. So you can see this is taking that dotted 8th note 1.5 beats, and the last 1.5 beats is taken up by these 3 16th notes. So similar to what we had up here, we have the 8th note taking up 1 whole beat, and then we just rested for this 2, and then we had the 16ths taking up the last 1.5 beats. The only difference in why I wanted to show you this is just so you could see what that dotted eighth note would look like. If you're in 3/4 and you saw a dotted quarter note, you'd also count it as 1.5 beats. We're just in 3/8, so again, it's that eighth note that's going to take up that 1 beat, dotted eighth to take up 1.5. So this measure is split right down the middle, 1.5 and 1.5. Okay, I'm just going to see if we can play out this top line here, and then we'll call it a day on this video. So I'll leave this up here while we play, so you can just see all the counting out of it. And let's head over back to the piano to see if we can play this out. All right, we are back at it on the piano. Let's go ahead and play out this one little line of Fur Elise here. So we have our picture up here. We counted it out already. All of these 16th notes and 8th notes, that's how we're playing in here. So we start off with this lead-in of just playing 3 and we'll go ahead and make sure we know what notes we're playing as well too for all of this. So F, A, C, E, on that top space we have an E, followed by going one note down. We have an accidental sharp there that's going to be D sharp. We're going to play that again. You can see it's just mimicked again at the same, right after that bar line there. So we're going to play E, D sharp, E, D sharp, and then you can see one more E even after that, E, and we're going to go a bit lower here. That is E, G, B right there. So E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B. And the next note, that symbol next to it is a natural symbol, which means instead of playing sharp or flat, we play the natural white key. It's the same note we played before. It's D instead of D sharp. We're now at D natural. Last note of that measure is on the space. That's going to be C. Going down 2 notes now to the next one, that's going to be an A for that 8th note. So let's practice that one. E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B, D natural, C, A. One more time so you can see that. And the counting for this is very easy because we've just all been playing notes one after each other. So I'll count it out with the rhythm. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. And now the part after this is where the rhythm gets a little bit harder. So starting with that A that's on the 1, that's going to take up 1 whole beat. So we can still count out that 1 and, it's just going to play for the 1 and the and. 1 and lift up on the 2, that's our 16th rest. We come in again on the 2 and that note we're playing is middle C. So we're going to go down to C here, and then going up 2 notes to that first line is E, going up 1, 2, 3 notes to A again. Let's do that last note there, the first one of the next measure here to finish off this little part. Going up 1 more note from A is going to put us on B. So these 4 notes here is middle C, E, A, B. C, E, A, B. Okay, so I'm going to start us off from the A that's on the 1 here. Let's count this out together. We're going to lift up on the rest, come back down on the 2 and to play that middle C. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Okay, a little bit tricky. We got to lift up on the 2 and we're coming in on the and, so that's not as conventional. And then we finish up on the B on the 1. This next measure here is going to follow the same exact rhythm as the previous one. Let's just figure out these notes here and we can play this all together. So we finished on the B on the 1. We lift up on the rest that's on the 2. We're going to come in on the 2 and, now playing E. 2 notes up to G. We have the sharp symbol there, so we're going to play G sharp. Up 2 more notes up to B, finishing off on C. And this is not middle C, we're the higher C above it here. So this one here. Okay, so one more time. We finished on B, lift up on the rest, E, G sharp, B, C. So just to make sure we remember the notes, not worrying about the rhythm too much, these last two measures, we had A on the 1, rest on 2, middle C, E, A, B, rest on 2, E, G sharp, B, C. So go ahead, pause the video, look at this, practice that a few times so you can make sure you remember the notes before we work on perfecting our rhythm here. And I will go ahead and go back to the beginning. I'll count this all out nice and slow for those of you that are ready to. So, starting off at the beginning, we're starting off with a 3 and. Remember that as we lead it into the first measure. So here we go. I'll go nice and slow. Starting from the 1, I'll come in on the 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1. It's harder than I expected to count this out while I play. But let's go ahead and do that one more time. From the beginning, I'm going to start counting from that 1 again. We come in on the 3. I'll go a little bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1. So all together, without you having to listen to me count, I'll just do the first lead in here. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and. That's it. So that's the first part of Fur Elise. If you can get the rhythm of this part of it down, you can really play the rest of the song. It follows a very similar rhythm all the way through it, so as long as you can read the notes, it'll be easy for you to do. This is only the right hand because I just wanted to focus on the rhythm of it. There's of course a left hand to it as well too that makes it a very nice and pretty song for us to play. But I just wanted to focus on the rhythm in this video. I'll cover this in a future video as well too since I do love this song. But that is it for compound time signatures, 3/8, 6/8. I hope you feel much more confident in playing these. You can go on and conquer any song playing these rhythms now. Have fun playing, and I'll see you next time.